All right, everybody, we are live. Say
Just like
hi.
that?
Just like that. Is that quick?
All right.
Well, we are live. This is a friend of mine, Dan Jordan, or the D's you will see on there in the bottom that way.
Yes.
The Sales Energizer. I was going to ask you, how did you come up with that name?
How did I come up with the sales energizer? Well, how did
Yes.
you come up with the bow tie guy? I mean, look at it. You come into first your bow tie comes in, and then 3 minutes later you follow it. I mean, it's the biggest thing sitting on there. So me, I come in with a ball of energy, and then 2 minutes later, here come I am a human in person. So that's how
There
it
you
works.
go.
You gotta, and it's true. I'll tell you, in sales, and especially in your sales, what do you do? Insurance?
Yep.
Gosh, you're
Yeah,
like the
you
you're like
gotta
the
have
first
energy.
you're like the first insurance guy I ever met. But it's a good idea because it's the only way to get remembered. You in your business especially, you have to be unbelievably honest. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to be over the top honest
Yeah.
because I mean, there are certain professions that people just think you're a crook just no matter what you do, because so
Yes.
many people have done it. And so, uh, me, I have to, as a salesperson, I got to be honest too. So like if I act serious and slow and, really, I'm not true to myself, it just comes off as fake and phony.
Hmm.
And it's like if somebody else is normally, soft spoken and they go crazy, that's going to be taken wrong as well. So,
Yeah.
my dad taught me something. You're going to have to stop me from talking because once you get me
No, go
rolling,
for it.
it's
Go for
okay.
it.
But a long time ago, this is a story I've told many times. But when my first business was a deli in New Jersey. I was 18.
What part of Jersey?
I'm from a little town called Fairlawn, near Paramus or Hackensack, so northern New Jersey.
Okay, I got family in East Orange and Montclair.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a little,
More
very
so.
close, very close where I was. But so my first business was a deli, and I was 18, and I was going to make this thing work no matter what. And so, my first year I worked 365 days simply because that's how many days there were that year.
Right.
And he says, right, like that's supposed to be a laugh line, Mister. All right, so I'm energetic and all that stuff. I had a customer come in. He says, "Listen, Deej, I like you. I like your business. I want you to succeed. But you drive me crazy in the morning. I mean, you're singing, you're doing all this stuff." And so I calmed down because I wanted to, live up to what they expected. And my dad comes to me, a little French Jewish accent, and my dad says, "Danny, qu'est-ce que tu fais? What do you do?" He says, "Where's my son?" So I told him the story, and my dad said to me, he goes, "Remember this," and I'm going to tell this to you, bow tie guy, and whoever else is listening. My dad said, "Remember this. You have to be yourself. Your customers, your employees, and your friends will become a reflection of yourself.
Yeah.
And if you act like somebody else or something different, you're going to wind up one day 50 years old, surrounded by a bunch of people that you don't like and don't like you, and that's no way to live. So be yourself. Be honest." That's a very long-winded way of saying, how did I get my name, the Sales Energizer?
Okay.
There you go.
It usually just happens because, me, it was an accident. Somebody heard me saying, I'm going to meet somebody at a Starbucks because I cold called everything. So I would say, I'll be the guy with the bow tie when I meet you at Starbucks. And my mentor was like, oh, the guy with the bow tie, that's good. You should use that.
That's right.
And total accident. So, well, everybody here, thanks for joining for the replay. If you're joining for the replay, we're on YouTube and LinkedIn. I just started my YouTube channel, so apologize if it looks like there's no drapes or curtains because there's nothing there. It's just the page. But today we're going to talk about sales. Between Dan and myself, I have probably about 15-ish years of sales experience. Dan, how about you?
Oh, well, I had my first business when I was 18, and I'm 54 now, so whatever that math is.
So you definitely beat me in the experience game. But I think it's good that sales is going through kind of a re-evolution, I think, in the last couple of years. If you think probably 30 years ago, it was probably much more transactional was okay. Have you seen it kind of change a lot in the last 5 years for you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. I think it's always the same.
Okay.
And really the only thing that's changed is the manner in which people transfer the same information. So like you have a message your message is going to your particular marketplace that you're marketing to. And the only thing really has changed is the media, where it used to be people would knock on your door and just walk in, then they would, use the phone, and then they use email, and then they use social media, and then but all those different medias are simply the delivery system of the message to the marketplace.
True.
If your message is lousy, or if it's going to the wrong marketplace, people that aren't interested in it, doesn't matter how you get them the message.
Yeah.
Work on that first. So I think that's remained the same. It's just a lot faster, it's a lot easier, and it's a lot more fun now.
I agree, yeah.
And so that's the whole thing, and that's how sales should be. You remember, it is fun. I mean, you're an insurance salesman, but it could be anything that you were selling.
Yeah.
The whole idea is you're exchanging energy with or information with another human being somehow.
Correct.
So that's always fun.
Yeah, and a good question somebody brought up with that sales is that somebody asked, getting past gatekeepers. I need help getting past gatekeepers. And personally, for me, I look at that as a negative to say get past the gatekeeper. I like to kind of work with the gatekeeper when you mention transferring energy. I kind of like to work with them. But what are your thoughts on gatekeepers in today's day and age?
Well, first of all, stop using the word gatekeeper, for crying out loud.
Yes.
I mean, what kind of visual is in your head when you're thinking of a gatekeeper? They're there in a suit of armor. They got a pitchfork, and a rifle.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, I know. What kind of thing? If you go into a sales call with that in your mind, you're already got your fists up. You're already ready for a fight. What if you just change the name of the gatekeeper to something like this? A sales assistant.
Yeah.
My sales assistant. And so I just go in there, I see the person there, and I say, hey, my normal line, 7 magic words. Hey, I wonder if you could help me. I'm really looking to do business with your company in terms of X. Who would be the person you think I should speak with?
Yep.
Oh!
Chris put a great comment. He put gatekeeper equals Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we also had Catherine said, love to know whether he's doing more texting. I know you mentioned different channels.
Yeah.
I think for me, texting depends on the person, really. I don't think there's one market that texting is the one thing. I think it depends on individuals. Would you agree on that?
What's her name? Kathy?
Catherine. And
Catherine.
I don't want to mess up her last name. Fasanella. I'm going to say that. I think
Kathy,
Italian last name.
Italian last name. Oh, good. That joke won't work. Okay, forget it. So, so Catherine, here's the deal. It's not one thing is better than another, and it's not one market is better than another. Remember, you're not dealing with a bank. You're not dealing with an insurance company. You're not dealing with a website, company. You're dealing with a human at all of those places. So some humans like texting, some humans like phone calls, some humans like, letters for, they're like anything. So it doesn't matter what the media is. You're dealing with a human being, a person. I'll tell you the best time to use texting, though, right after you're on an appointment and you get their card and everything and you have their cell number, text them from the car. Just say, hey, thanks so much for the meeting. I really appreciate it. I'll get back to you with all that stuff like we promised. See you later. Boom. And get it out right there in the car. And they'll get it. They won't respond. They'll get it. They'll look at it. But if you're in competition with any other person selling that same product, you've just moved up a notch.
Yeah, absolutely. Be different. That's something that people don't do. I mean, I always leave a text after a voicemail. If I call somebody and leave a voicemail, I'm presuming you don't check your voicemail all the time. So I send a text like, hey, left you a quick voicemail. Love to chat about what I left in the message.
Yeah, and then I agree. And, everybody always says that you want to be different. But if you want to be different, be different. That text is different, but the words that you use in the text need to be a little different, too. Catherine, they should have your personality.
Yeah.
And they should have your personality too. And so, for instance, if I were to do that, I said, I would say something that my wife says this is really annoying, but I think it's important for me to do this, blah, blah, blah. And so, a little self-deprecating humor, something that puts a little personality in it, something that they'll remember.
Absolutely.
Again, you're dealing with a human.
Yeah, this is what I feel like.
What other questions we got? I'm on a roll. What other questions we got?
Well, Wendy Lane said your attitude is awesome. Tamina Word said great info.
All right, it's all about the drugs. That's the first one. The second one is when you're talking about info. Here's the thing, and this is important too. Always lead with your best stuff. For whatever reason, salespeople and anybody, when they give a presentation, when they're starting, they're always kind of holding stuff back because they think, oh, at the end, we're going to get them. This will really close them over there.
Yeah.
Right. And you're afraid to lead with your best stuff because then you think you're going to, wave off at the end. And even when you're doing stuff like this on live or when you're doing podcasting, whatever. By the way, you got to put my banner up there. Everybody watching this needs to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have like 800. I need to get 1,000 at least so I can start monetizing. Dan, just look me up, Dan Jordan, the Sales Energizer. Subscribe.
I'm happy. Hold on.
Yeah, you hook me up there. But the idea is there's an infinite amount of creativity that you can develop. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to give away my best idea or my best, little secret there, believe me, you'll have more and more that keep coming to you. Always give your best stuff. So your info needs to be the most relevant, perfect, top of mind, creative information that you have. So you don't feel that you're always going to duplicate yourself because nobody remembers anyway.
Yeah, and I think about that too, is that I think we think there's too many features and benefits needed in a sales process. And usually there's one or two things that are like, these are vital.
That's it.
So if you lead up to the vital thing and you bore them to death with all the little minor things, you're going to lose
They're
them
gone.
You get the chance. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone. Half the people who started this thing have already left.
Yep. So we got Tamina Ward. She said, should you lead with your why?
Should you lead with your why? No, you should lead with their why.
Yep, absolutely.
Screw your why. Nobody cares about you. What's her name?
Tamina Ward. I think it's because the sales books always say start with why, which is important, but people misinterpret whose why is more important.
All right. Okay, everybody, if you're driving your car, stop and pull over. If you're in front of your desk, stop what you're doing, grab a pen, all right? I'm going to give you some magic right here, okay? There are 3 words that literally repel people from you. I mean, you push them away fast. They hate you with these 3 words. Conversely, there's 3 words that attract people to you, that they love you. The 3 words that they hate are I, we, and us.
Yep.
They're bored as all get out when you say I, we, and us. That includes, what's that person's name again? What is it?
Tamina Ward.
Tamino Award?
No, Tamina Ward.
Okay, I mean, you combine all your words together like it's one thing. 2 different names have a space in the middle. Anyway, so the 3 words that attract people to you, if you didn't figure it out already, it's because you're not thinking. You, yours, and y'all. And so when you meet somebody, they don't care about your why. What you can say is about their why. Hey, Mr. Jones or Mrs. Jones, if you're like most of the other businesses that we deal with, you have like 3 issues that you're dealing with. You want more customers, you want more customers fast, and you want to make sure that you have a great reputation and you have the best insurance. Am I pretty close to the truth?
Yes, 100% accurate.
And so I just made you say yes, nod your head 3 or 4 times without using the word I once, and you know exactly what I do.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's money. I'm giving you all the good stuff. I got to have my own live cast and give this kind of magic.
Well, look, Wendy Lane said, I will subscribe to your YouTube if you subscribe to mine. So you need to go to Wendy Lane.
All right. See, I like Wendy Lane. She's closing. That's good stuff. Yeah, absolutely, Wendy Lane. Go ahead and do that.
Yep. Desiree said, they may not be around to the end to hear the goodness. Lead with your best stuff.
Yeah,
and, Wendy also said the most important info he said today was to be yourself. Have personality, don't memorize a script.
Well, that's because we're not finished yet, Wendy. Wait till it goes. It keeps getting better. I know you think it's going to end. It keeps getting better. Actually, that's funny. I wouldn't let my wife. My wife and I didn't get married until. We were dating for a while and was getting to that point and everything. And so, it was kind of obvious that eventually we get married. And she's like, when is this going to happen? And my answer was, when you hate me. because you see this now, it's kind of energy and it's fun and all that stuff. But after a while, all day long, this is very annoying. I mean, I'll annoy myself, And so one day we're out and we're doing something and she's like, You were the most annoying person I've ever met in my life.
And you're like, done.
Then I said, do you still want to marry me? And she said yes, and that's when we set the date.
Aww.
Yeah, well, it's true because you
eventually. I'm gonna put some heart emojis for the reaction right now.
Oh yeah, you see that? Okay, that's so. How about that, Wendy? Was that good stuff?
Catherine also said good point. And the script part I'm going to talk about. She talked about the script. Don't memorize the script. Now you do a lot of phone stuff. I do a lot of phone stuff. What's your opinion on the dreaded sales script in B2B?
Well, I memorize a lot of things now, but I don't do anything without a script. I recommend everybody uses a script. I mean, every actor has a script. Every movie you've ever seen has a script. They bring you to tears. I mean, it's not like it's not the script. It's the practice and the rehearsal of the script that prevents people from really succeeding. I mean, I talk to a lot of people that are job seekers. And basically, if you're a job seeker, you're on an interview. That's basically a sales call.
Yeah, true.
And so you're selling your skills to the marketplace and all that. And on that sales call, you're going to get about 4 questions, and you know what they are. Tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? Why do you think you'd be good to work here? You have any questions for us? And there might be a little flyer. If you were a tree, what kind of leaf would you? They have those kind of crazy things. But if somebody says, tell me about yourself, and you're not prepared for that,
you're done.
Are you out your mind? I mean, that's a gimme. Tell me about yourself. That needs to just spill out, like water, like milk coming out your nose when you laugh. I mean, you just that needs to just come out without thinking. Yeah. And so you got to rehearse that.
Yeah, as I was saying, I say from the Energy Bus, if you play more than you practice, when you play, it looks like you didn't practice. And
that's good stuff.
I try to find some more letters here and there.
Yeah, that's a winner. I might have to use that.
Take it. That's much of the point.
By the way, this isn't coffee. I don't drink coffee. This is my little chip cup but here's the deal. I decided today I'm not eating. I'm fasting today, so I'm going to have only water. And then it changed. So it looks like it's water, but it's actually soup. I figure soup is liquid. It's almost like not eating. So
you're close to it.
Yeah.
Chris Stone said a Deej love story. Aw.
Who said that, Chris?
Chris Stone. Yeah, your buddy.
Chris Stone is gonna make me a star. Yeah, he's like a real cool, like a podcast producer and a live producer and all that stuff. Anything good you see from the Deej, it's because of Chris Stone. And if anybody wants to get into podcasting or this type of thing, they need to hook up with him. Absolutely. So rock and roll.
And we also had Wendy said, once you follow me, once you follow me, you'll see I follow my own lead. It's important to believe in what you're selling. Wendy, I've seen your stuff quite a bit on LinkedIn. You definitely follow your own drum.
Wendy's a troublemaker. I can't do it now, Wendy, because I'm on this thing. Did you subscribe yet, Wendy?
Well, I'm sure you'll see a comment on your YouTube channel from Wendy saying something. She'll put something on there.
Okay,
so I know we talked about your new jingle you made for your company with if your sales team suck, and I'm not going to sing it because I'm not a singer. You can tell by this.
Oh voice. Yeah, I know. I got to get that. You got to tell Chris Stone to put that on. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Put a link to the jingle so people can kind of look at it and get your feedback.
Yeah.
And it made me think about your sales team sucking because I find often in sales that the leader is great at the sales, but that duplication part is always hard. So why do you think that most of the sales team, when they have a phenomenal leader, somebody energetic, they don't get that call reluctance where they're not prospecting like they need to?
Well, a good question. I don't know. Are you talking when you say a sales leader? You mean a sales manager? Or
let's say a manager for the easy sake of it.
Yeah, because a lot of times a really good salesperson really doesn't make a great manager. I mean, I'm a terrible manager. It's just that it makes no sense to me. So I'm really awful at that, and I don't want to do that. But when it comes to prospecting, and that's what you're talking about. You see, there's 2 different sales in any sales call. A prospecting call is a different sale than a sales call.
Yes.
A prospecting call is very much like a billboard. You drive, you drive past the billboard 100 times, and you don't stop into the, to the restaurant that it's advertising. And the people in the restaurant aren't like killing. Oh, damn, we just lost another. Look at them. There they go. They're going by. They keep the person with the billboard, they're not afraid because it's not a sale. It's just, hey, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Come on. Are you hungry? Yeah, that's right. And so a prospecting call is basically saying, hey, you hungry? Mm-hmm. And if you're not hungry, you're not going to convince somebody to eat. They're just not. Or if they're a vegetarian, I got an awesome steak. Dude, I don't eat steak. Yeah. You're not going to sell that. So if you look at it that way, when you're making calls or prospecting calls and someone says no to you, you really ought not to take it personally. They're just not hungry.
Yeah.
Now, if you do have an appointment and you're on a sale, well, then you need some skills, and then you need to go in there and do the right thing and create that relationship and qualify and disqualify and do the whole process.
Yeah.
Which you probably have not enough time, but that's what we can do. That's what I do with companies. Listen, what I do is I take companies who want to sell in the future, and I help them sell fast and for top dollar. And how I help them sell fast for top dollar is, before I list them, before I get them on the market, before I present them to somebody, I fix the companies in one specific way. I take the owner, like you're the owner of your insurance practice, right? And you're the one who does all the sales and all the prospecting, right? See, your business is not a saleable business because it's required for you to continue growing it. Without you, if we lose you, there is no business.
Well, I got a team, but you're right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. If you work with me here, will you?
I'm working with you. I'm working with you.
So if I take you out of the sales process, the owner out of the sales process, I'd immediately increase the value of the business, because then anybody else could just come in, replace the top guy, and they're willing to pay for it. So that's what we do, and we help build sales teams that way.
Okay.
Most people's sales teams suck, and if they don't know what to do,
true.
Call 991. What's my number? 678-910, not 912. Yeah, that's good.
I'll put it up there in a second. Well,
Wait, so you're
put it on the screen. And one thing, we got a question real quick. Catherine said, how do you close the deal? Now, that's a good open-ended question. How do you close the deal? Catherine, I'll weigh in one part about that. Closing the deal, I think, naturally happens if you're doing the right thing. Usually, I'll say most of them are leaning into you, giving you some kind of clue like, hey, how do we get this going? Or, where do I sign? To me, that's usually a natural progression when they ask questions like that. But Ben, what's your feedback on closing the deal?
Well, closing starts with the opening. And so closing starts with qualifying people. And there's three things everybody knows this that you need for someone to be a strong buyer. One is they need a want or a need. Two, they need decision-making ability. And three, they need money. So the quicker you find out those three things, the better off you'll be. And if they don't have one of those three things, let's say they really want your product and they are a decision maker, but they just don't have the money, why present?
It's a waste of time at that point.
I mean, you can be, listen, and don't think, you want to be friends with, people think that you could build a great relationship with someone and then they're going to buy. Here's another thing to write down. This is a big one. Ready? It's a lot easier to make a friend out of a customer than make a customer out of a friend.
That's a good one.
All right? So what you need to do is you qualify people at the beginning. Say, Mr. Jones, I really appreciate you having this appointment and all this stuff. Does anybody else need to be on this meeting with us? Or are you okay with making a decision? Great. Okay, good. Just to let you know, the product that I think you need here is going to be anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000. Assuming you love it, is that something you think you can afford right now, or something you're willing to work with? Right at the beginning. See you later, potato. So because it's in their head no matter what, so you might as well just get it right out there. A lot of times I'll say things like, "Is it okay to talk about money now?" And they'll say,
important. That is important because your friends you just naturally inherit or something. So their situation might not match your product or service. So I think people should just understand that and I think that it's a bad thing when you say that. 'Cause I think some people could take that as, well, you're saying don't tell your friends. Like, no, it's just some of your friends don't have private jets. So if you sell private jets, it's a waste of time to talk about it from the beginning.
That's right. Or some people just don't want your stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't want it. Listen, I don't have any need for. In fact, I do have a need for this.
And Chris put your link for the jingle, so guys go in there, look at his jingle on YouTube. Dan shared the link for it. Wendy said, if you don't eat steak, you can't follow me. Well, you just lost the follower. I'm vegan, so I can't follow you. So sorry.
You're vegan?
I've been vegan for about 2.5 years now.
Really? No eggs or anything like that?
No, I'm probably the only vegan insurance person you meet. Actually, fun thing, if anybody knows a vegan insurance person, tag them, please. I have yet to find one. Please do.
You know what I've yet to find?
What's that?
Somebody over 40 whose name is Dennis. I mean, nobody over, like, the name just died.
That's interesting. I had to look at that. Dennis the Menace was the reason that happened, probably.
Do you know any Dennis is? Yeah, I like nobody. It's like the name is just nowhere to be seen. Nobody's a Dennis in it.
And then Kenyatta, she threw out a yes on there. Kenyatta's going to be at Outbound. Outbound for y'all. I'm sure Dan, you go to Outbound. You go to the Outbound conference.
Yeah, I need to be on the Outbound stage, for crying out loud. I've been trying to lobby to get on the Outbound stage for 2.5 years.
Well, talk to Kenyatta. She's we're online friends. We talked on the phone a couple of times. She's gonna actually be a panelist, I think she said, on Outbound. So
hey, Kenyatta, hook me up, will you? After all we've been through. I mean, it's like we mean nothing to each other after all this time. There is no. I'll listen. That stage was made for the Deej.
Well, I'll help any way I can too. Now, something I want to talk about too, the phone. So you and I talked about the phone.
Yes.
It makes me laugh that, like on LinkedIn, I'm going to write an article about this. For the last 2.5 weeks, I've sent a voice memo to every new connection I've made, or any birthday, or any role change. So when you got 20,000 connections, it's tedious. It's good. And basically, people are like, oh my God, why do you do this? How this is different.
Yeah.
There's voice memos on LinkedIn. That's the most common response I get is, I didn't know you could do this.
Yeah.
But it has generated some activity for different referrals and things like that. And I did it just to be different and to be human, because it's like, hey, I'm not a bot. I'm not a text message machine. This is me. I manage my own LinkedIn. So I wanted to kind of show that. So with the phone, most people don't call their connections on LinkedIn and call them on the phone. I know you and I have been trying to do this for a while. Mm-hmm. How often do you mix social media with the phone with your work?
Oh, every time I want more business.
Okay.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. It's always the same. Even when there were horse and buggies, and now that there's, rocket ships, okay? But the best connection is face-to-face, one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Second is on the phone, because you're talking to them. Or maybe now it's a conference call. Who knows, something, but it's like that. Third, and then you go to email, and then you go to letters, and then you keep going down the line, So you always want, if you really want to make a connection with somebody, hop on the phone and rock and roll. Get close together. Be human. It's the best time. If you're watching, it's the best time, because we have literally an entire generation who's been doing this. Yeah. They can't handle the phone.
I think people are scared of it. I mean, because the thing about email and text is there's no direct feedback on were you good or bad. The phone and in person lets you know right away, like, hey, you need to practice, or hey, this isn't going well for you. But that's good, I think.
There's not been a person alive that's been rejected on the phone and has died. People say, oh my God, I can't do that, I would die. Nobody dies. I mean, it's not like, that doesn't kill you. It doesn't. You know what it makes you do? Dial the next number.
Yep. And then Kenyatta said, connect with me. So send when you get done with this live, send Kenyatta Gordon. You're going to send Kenyatta
Gordon. I can't write this down. I'm on the wrong thing. You text me this thing or put it over here. Hey, Kenyatta, you have no idea. Kenyatta, you have no idea who you're dealing with. I will be I'll be at your door before you know what hit you.
And then Stephanie said, Stephanie McCree, she said, this is a valuable live feed for those in sales. I hope it is. I like sales to learn from people locally to me, because it's like you have these ivory towers of sales books, and some of them are great. Some of them are the same stuff.
Oh my gosh, sales books. Stick around for a second.
Wait, when Dan gets that, there's a ton of sales books. Read a lot of sales books. Don't get me wrong. A lot of sales books are great, but sometimes rehashing the same idea you've heard over and over again. So I think it's important to... hold on. I think it's important to read current sales books. I was telling them I think it's important to read current sales books from people that are doing it, that are in your area. Talk about that. Move it to the left. There you go.
Okay, there we go. You gotta get this book. Go on Amazon. Have you ever heard of Amazon?
What's Amazon?
Yeah, okay. So there's this place called Amazon. You pull up sales proverbs. This thing is so. I actually read it. You know, sometimes you write something, it takes a long time, and you read it, and you're like, man, that's good stuff. How'd you do it? So all it is like little blurbs of things, but very biblical. Here, sell yourself first and always. Those poor salespeople who are defined by a product or service are terrible risk to the market. You see,
Yes.
don't sell you, baby.
Yeah.
Don't sell your product. You can get your product anywhere. Listen, the best person to get insurance from is this guy right here. You know, and it's not like his insurance is better than anybody else's insurance.
It's the same as everybody else's. Yeah.
It's because you're going to get no other insurance comes with him.
And a bow tie.
And a bow tie. Yeah, but even other people can get a bow tie. You know?
But that's the point I make all the time. The biggest pet peeve I have with what I do, people think I get lower rates. I'm like, no insurance person gets you lower rates. It's just strategy. They give you a better strategy that makes sense for you. And then Doug Lehman, I'm sure you connect with, you know what Doug Lehman with Lehman's terms? I'm not Lehman, Doug Lehman, sorry. He has a great series. He's actually going to be at Outbound as well doing interviews. If you need also help with Outbound, connect with Doug.
Yeah, Doug's my man. We talk often. He's a good guy.
Kenyetta says more personal. She said texting is so impersonal. It depends, Kenyetta. Texting can be impersonal if the person doesn't like text.
Well, texting can really screw you up because nobody does complete sentences. So you could say something like Kenyetta, give me your actually give me yourself. I'm just kidding. But Kenyetta, like if I wrote you are awesome, that's good. But you know, if you're going back and asking questions and things like that, you always. I find myself when I use too much texting, apologizing. You know,
I say keep it short. If you're gonna text, like don't put three questions in one message. That drives me crazy when somebody sends you one text with 2 or 3 questions.
Well, I'm actually even on emails to males, women can multitask, but men,
we can't.
It's one question. Remember this: when you're sending an email to a man, one question. Because what's going to happen is they'll never get to the second. They'll answer the first one, and then you have to reply to them again and say, "Oh yeah, but what about the second question?" And then they have to go back down the string, and then you just screw it, and you pick up the phone.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Chris Stone said, "Zig when everybody else is zagging."
That's right.
That's true.
By the way, Kenyetta, I am the next Zig Ziglar. Speaking of zigging and zagging.
I like it.
So we'll kill him with that.
Perfect. She also said correct because content can get taken the wrong way. This is true. I mean, texting, mediums, email, you can have a context go out of character. But I think if you supplement with a phone call, like you said, Dan, text and then call somebody or email and call them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not a bad idea to confuse people a little bit. Then you have a reason to call back and apologize. And then you have a reason to talk to them. I mean, do whatever you have to do. But, the main thing with sales, I don't know. I don't know if we even talked about this, but we talked a little bit about, how to close the sale and all that. A lot of it is just having the courage to take a no, to give them a yes or no answer.
Yep.
So, well, that's a presentation. I think it'll be great for you. And like I said at the beginning, you can give me a yes, you can give me a no. Either way is fine. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. But we can probably get this done on Thursday. Does that sound good for you? And, get a close.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for the. How you close is you ask for it.
And Catherine, I think that's another important fact. A lot of people don't like to ask for the sale. Like when you say close the deal, a lot of people
care.
Mouse around like, is this
thing.
Okay? Like, no, you're there for a reason. Don't waste their time. Close and just ask. Like, even just a simple, are we doing this? I mean, that's better than just doing nothing.
You know what I don't like doing? I don't like breathing. What I like doing is go. What do you? I don't like. Who cares if you like it or you don't like it? I mean, you have to do it.
It's part of sales.
Yeah. Imagine someone saying that. You know what? I know you're supposed to breathe, and I know what helps you live, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
But keep in mind, too, guys, sales is all communication. When you break all of this down to its purest sense, no matter what channel you use, sales is communicating something valuable from you to somebody else. That's right. That's as simple as I can make sales, just to keep it easy for people. Collis also said, I'm not sure what he meant with that, but thanks for the engagement. Here we go.
Are we getting married? Who am I engaged to now?
I don't know, but Doug said develop a sales cadence to connect multi-channel where your prospects are. Kaneda replied to that, oh, definitely people want to build human relationships with others when they're spending their money with you.
Where are people replying? I don't see squat.
You can't see, that's linked that I can read it to you. But I did comment from you. Plus, it's harder to say no via the phone. Remember, people have many options when you're making a choice. How are you standing out? I'll challenge you saying is you have a harder time saying no on the phone. I think that it'd have an easier time sometimes if you suck on the phone.
Well, here's the thing, and it's just normal part of sales. You want to find out about them. You know the saying that you want to hear. They need to talk twice as much as you're talking. Mm-hmm. So here's the secret to getting people not hanging up on you. People will never hang up on you while they're talking.
Yes. Absolutely. Ask questions all day.
Boom. See, you nailed it, right? See, you know that, Daryl, because I just said while they're talking. So you said ask questions. That's why you're a pro.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's years of messing up, though. I mean, when I first got into B2B, I've done a lot of B2C before that. So
do people know what that is? You got to explain what that is.
Yes, let's break it down. So B2C is business to consumer. I did retail for a long time, working in retail places. And I was really good at that. So I thought I'm good at sales. But B2B is selling from me to a business, to the decision maker, the owner, the HR person. So I thought, well, I'm so good at selling a product to Billy buying a TV or Susan buying a washing machine, I should be a pro at B2B, but it's very different. The communication is different. I didn't get that. So I read a ton of sales books, much to you're mentioning that book earlier, is reading books to figure it out. So I'm not a pro. I just messed up a crap ton and learned from somebody else.
Did I mention this book? Sales Proverbs, Wisdom of the Ages?
Rewind on that.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't mention this book before.
Well, all right. Last thing, I don't want to keep these too long, so thank you guys for engaging. I want to see, what's something you think, when you talk to sales teams, what do you think is the most easily diagnosed problem that you solve? Like, you just walk into the 10-person sales team, what's the easiest problem for you to fix with them?
Oh, okay. Well, it's a basic rule that if you're not growing, you're shrinking. If you're not climbing, you're sliding. People have a goal and they think, when I get to this point, I'm going to be all set. Let me tell you something. You're never all set. And so if you could get the biggest thing I think is people think that prospecting ends. And if you can get that out of their head and turn it into a game, and that's the first thing we can do. We could turn the whole prospecting portion into a game. And when that happens, things just start flowing in. Talk to more people, more opportunities happen, more excitement happens, more buzz in the place. People start rooting each other on, and it's just a great experience. It's just a great experience. It fixes everything. More sales fixes everything.
Yeah, you're right about that. Nothing happens till a sale is made. So you're right about that. Nothing happens in the business till a sale is made. Well, Dan, I want to do this again with you, whether Outbound lets you on or not. My platform is available for you, so I'd love to do this.
Well, I'm going to have my own platform, but you got to teach me how to get on LinkedIn and do this thing. What's this? Who do you have to sleep with to get on LinkedIn these days?
I don't know, because I didn't do that, but I'm sure somebody else can tell you.
I know, LinkedIn's big on vegans. I'm sure you did something.
Well, maybe that's why the new CEO stepped down. Maybe the old CEO stepped down. Somebody slept with them and they got live and they cut it off. Maybe that's what happened. But guys, please share any comments if you have future ideas to talk about sales or questions. Chris was nice enough to put a link to your book in the comments. So thank you, Chris. You're right. He's going to make you a star. He's linked in your book.
Oh, that guy's awesome. I'm telling you, if anybody wants, do you have a podcast?
I'm actually in the 90% phase of saying I want to do it.
You got to hook up with Chris. He will set you up. He'll come to your place. The guy's as good as they get.
Okay. Well, you're the plug between you and, I don't know if you see Jordan Mendoza. He's a friend of mine that started the Blaze Your Own Trail podcast.
What's his name?
Jordan Mendoza.
Does he have a wife, Whitney?
I don't know his wife's name. I know he has a wife. I don't know her name, though.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know them.
Yeah, Blaze Your Own Trail podcast. So check that out. That's a good podcast. A friend of mine.
I'll do it.
But thank you guys for joining this. Please share the replay with people in your connection that need help with sales. If your sales team sucks, share this. Jordan, Dan can give you a lot of great information to help you with that. Anything you lead the team with, any information or things you got going on?
Just go to Dan and danjordan.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel under the same name. It's JOURDAN. And you'll see a bunch of stuff from me later. So connect with me, and you'll never be bored.
You're right. All right. Well, thanks, Dan. Take it easy, guys.
Take care.